What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Dylan and welcome back to another Destiny video. In today's video I basically want to discuss and go over exotics and how I would like them to change in the future of Destiny. Obviously we're not going to see any significant changes in Destiny in its current state, but hopefully for the future of Destiny 2, in future releases, hopefully we can see some of these changes maybe implemented, and just changes to exotics in general and how they function. So first of all, let's get straight into exotic armor pieces. Sorry about that notification noise there, but I'm going to use the Warlock as an example, but this does pretty much go across to all of the other classes within Destiny as well. So Titan and Hunters, this goes for them as well, just as equally as Warlock. So we're just going to get into some of the armor pieces here. So out of the helmets, I'm just going to basically say the only one I use is Obsidian Mind. None of these other exotic helmets I find useful. They're all pretty, irrelevant to me. I just don't really think they're that good. The benefits on them are, sort of meh. Don't get me wrong, the Ram is a good helmet. The Ram is actually a very, does have decent benefits for the Voidwalker. Increased armor is also very nice. For a very tanky build, it is really good. But for me, in the current meta of Destiny, the Ophidian aspects just completely, in my opinion, completely outshine any other exotic for the Crucible for the Warlock. So this is my only clear significant choice for an exotic armor piece. If I'm going to be playing the Crucible on my Warlock, this is the only exotic I use, just because the benefits are so crazy good. Improved energy drain abilities on your Voidwalker, quick draw on all your weapons with increased reload speed on all weapons, increased melee attack speed, and increased grenade throw distance, which is crazy. So basically, the idea of what I'm trying to get across here is there's too many exotics, and a lot of them are useless. Now, let me use an example here. This chest piece, Alchemist's Raiment, completely and absolutely, in my opinion, fucking useless. I've never used this thing. I dismantle it every time I get it. It's completely stupid. Chance to gain Glimmer on a primary ammo pickup. Who the hell cares about getting a bit of Glimmer every time you pick up ammo? Most of the time when you make the choice of actually using an exotic armor piece, you want a good benefit out of it. Now for chest pieces, in my opinion, the only one I would ever consider using here is Starfire Protocol. That's because, to me, it gives me a better advantage, an additional fusion grenade. Also, the actual benefit of being able to have more heavy ammo on there is really nice, or special ammo. Plus you can have, an increased armor type, which is also very good. So this chest piece in general gives me more benefits than certain, other chest pieces. Voidfang Vestments was sort of popular back in year 1 for quite a few Rumble players and Sunsinger. Every time you die you get your firebolt back, sort of thing. But since then it's sort of lost its significance. In my opinion, it's just completely irrelevant. To me, to make this chest piece better, the perks on them as they are right now are just terrible. There's a lot of exotics in here. For example, for gauntlets, I would only use Ophidian aspects for PvP, and that is it. And the only other ones that I would really often use here is Sunbreakers for my Sunsinger for the for the solar flare grenades. Boots, completely pointless. Like I said, I'm gonna leave these out of it because obviously class items don't really matter. But again, I use Obsidian Mind, Starfire Protocol, Sunbreakers, and Ophidian aspects, and then that's pretty much it, really. I mean, unless I'm say if there's a arc burn on heroic strikes that week or something like that, then I might pull out the impossible machines, but that's pretty much it. So getting into exotic weapons now, guys. Basically, I just used the exotic armor pieces on the Warlock just for an example, but again, it goes for each of the classes, for the Titan and the Hunter, with a very select few exotics actually being okay to use, and the rest just being completely irrelevant, in my opinion. Same goes for exotic weapons as well. So getting straight into this, the only exotic primary that I would use for the Crucible would be the Last Word. If I'm sniping, pairs very well. Still a pretty decent exotic, but again, the Ghost Bullet issue does sort of get annoying and tedious at times. The only one I'd probably consider using in PvE if I'm, playing strikes would be Zal Supercell. All the others completely irrelevant in my opinion. Outbreak Prime is a debatable one. It's useful in certain situations if you're going up against Fallen. Other than that, it sort of loses its kick. Special weapons, as far as things go, Invective is okay for strikes and PvE. The other ones are sort of, I just don't really see the point in using. For these ones over here, I sort of lost my interest in Icebreaker after all the nerfs it's had, to the ammo regen. I just don't really think it's that useful anymore. I like to have consistent ammo rather than pop a couple of shots off and then wait for them to regen for like 30 plus seconds. I just don't really see the benefit in that, in my opinion. As far as heavies go, heavies are actually in a very good spot, very useful for PvE, and they're actually, the Truth and Thunderlord for the Crucible are actually super deadly. Thunderlord, in my opinion, is arguably one of the best machine guns for the Crucible. Very good. Definitely recommend getting it if you haven't got it already. As far as other weapons go, Sleepy Stimulant is good, the swords are amazing, Galahorn's okay, but the no Wolfpack round time, shots at times can mess you up a little bit, so it does get a little bit frustrating. Nemesis Start is surprisingly decent. Dragon, I'm not even going to talk about those two, but as far as things go, don't really use any of these. Well, No Land Beyond, it's pretty decent for Crucible, but other than that, a lot of these don't get used. Now, a lot of this has to do with the meta in Destiny, and with a lot of them actually not really being usable with the current meta, but that's obviously Bungie's job to buff certain archetypes and all that sort of stuff, but a lot of them don't have real, good perks to them, and the main point of this video again is to try and get the point across that there's so many exotics in Destiny right now that a lot of them are just completely pointless. I just don't really see the point in a lot of these exotics. If exotics in general were harder to get and they were actually felt like an exotic, going back to year one when you had the Galahorn, it felt amazing. The Galahorn in year one was unlike any other weapon I've ever used. Really, it was absolutely incredible. A complete wrecking house for anything PvE related. Granted, it was a little bit overpowered. That's why it did receive a nerf, because that's the only thing anybody used. But that's sort of what I don't want them to be overpowered and broken, but I just want exotics to have relevance again within Destiny, and I feel like that's one of the things that they need to focus on in Destiny 2. Also reducing the amount of exotics to make them feel more special. Exotics, like I said, they just don't feel special anymore. Pop 3 coins, you get them in strikes, playing Crucible matches, you can get them in anything. They just sort of lost all the special feelings to them, all relevance in my opinion. I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please let me know. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching the video if you made it this far, and peace.